Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the 49365 post game show on Croc Talk TV. You already know what it is. Shout out to Croc. My name is BMX, positive energy and good vibes. As always, I'm with JB.
What's poppin', B? What's poppin', faithful? We got a different layout today, man. You usually in the studio, but we
Yeah,
on Crock Talk TV, so we gotta adjust. Where you
yeah,
at, man?
yeah.
Let me
I
know where you
actually
at.
not even at the computer because I'm in. For those who don't know, I live in LA, so I went to the game. Um, before we get into this game, and I know there's a lot. It was a polarizing game, a lot of hot takes, all that. The stadium was beautiful, man. Like this stadium, state of the art. I'm definitely gonna go to the Rams game. I'm definitely gonna go to that game every season. The Rams game in LA, like count me in every single season. This stadium is beautiful. I actually came solo dolo, so I gotta go with wifey next time, and hopefully you could bring down the family to LA, and we could go to that one for one of the games that we go to this year. But beautiful stadium, and honestly, I don't know. Preseason games are just you just don't know what you're really gonna expect. But it's like it's still a game atmosphere. It's not like a grill game, you know what I'm saying? But it's still like there are so many fans out there. I'm sure you can see on the TV broadcast all the red. You know how we do. It's a home game whenever we in town. So that part of the game was great. I actually had pretty good seats. Again, it was a preseason game, so it didn't cost too much. And yeah, I mean, you can kind of see firsthand um Jimmy just looked super jittery. I don't know if that was translating on the TV screen, but there was a few of those first passes where he was just shaking. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just really shaking. And and obviously Trey Lance, we can get to that too, man. So I guess starting off post game reaction, it's been a few hours since the game ended because we had some complications getting finally on here. I'm at a gas station right now, if you can't see, in the car in the whip. um First, just general thoughts of the game. Like, I know there's a lot of hot takes we was texting throughout it. Just what was your thoughts now that the game's over? It's been a few hours, you had a chance to kind of take a breath. What's your thoughts on just the game overall?
Um, Honestly, man, I'm gonna be honest. Like this game, me and you were talking, and we when things don't go well, it's just
Mm-hmm.
reminiscent, and it just you get flashbacks of
Mm.
how a lot of seasons go. A lot. Let's be honest here. Let's just be honest. Like when things don't go well, we know what that feels like. We know what it feels like to come out and have lackluster performances, have a team that you're not proud of. And I know it's getting early, and but I'm just saying some of those sentiments. Maybe I have trauma from the past, from being a Niner fan in the past, and some of them sentiments they came back. But I mean, honestly, I feel like either way, if it's a good season, I'm gonna have fun, and even if it's a bad season, I'm gonna have fun too because it's kind of fun when you could kind of crap on your team. So either way, we
Yeah,
saw good, we saw bad. So if it's
yeah,
bad, I'm
it's
ready
kind of
for bad.
it's it's like one of them things where it's like, I could talk bad about my team. You can't talk bad about my team, but I could talk bad about my team. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those sort of things. So I feel you on that. And yeah, trauma from, having expectations, whether it be those games we went to, like it's just, the Thanksgiving game we was at with against the Seahawks, and, having expectations for Cap, and then, turkey on the field. But let's not get to that. I'll try to keep it positive, man. Positive energy and good vibes. I was pretty critical during the game. A lot of negatives, obviously the interceptions, a lot of, speaking of Cap, the fastball, man. That's the hot phrase that everybody's going to talk about. The fastball that Trey Lance has, and does he have other pitches in his arsenal? A lot of that wasn't good. Trey did come back, albeit against second, third string players. Whatever. It's preseason. It was good to get him some confidence. We'll get into more of the details, but overall, I was pretty disappointed, pretty just expected more from Jimmy, from the team. You know, there's a lot of excuses we can make. We could talk about, oh, this pass is, it's Trey's fault because he put too much. Oh no, it's really the receiver because he got his hands on it and he shouldn't have made the cut. Oh, the offensive line wasn't doing what they're supposed to do. And oh, this is we can make a lot of excuses. At the end of the day, it would be nice to have a no excuse performance. You know, like it would be nice to have a performance where there just aren't those question marks that you have. It's just a flawless. You look at Zach Wilson, 2 touchdowns, did his thing. Justin Fields had his highlight plays, whatever. His team got scraped, but he did enough. You know, he did his thing. It's just you would like to see just, it doesn't mean you have to win. It doesn't mean you have to like dominate the game. It's preseason. Who cares? But you just want to see a no excuse kind of performance. And we didn't really get that fully today. But having, you know, taken a step back, I parked like 30 minutes from the stadium. So I had a good walk to just kind of, you know, get thoughts together, get some energy out, you know, all that. And I would say by my standards, I said last week, preseason, I'm looking at highlight plays. I'm looking at, do you look like you belong? There's plenty of plays where Trey Lance looked like he was rushing. He looks like he was like, he needs to get reps. Like we saw that. But he also had some, you know, he had nice touchdowns, albeit the situation, whatever. Kyle Shanahan kind of screwed him, put him in a bad situation at the end of the game, not, you know, using any of those timeouts. He basically got down the field in 1 minute and, you know, got a touchdown. So and for a player who, indeed it was the first half, but for a player who never has had a 2-minute, you know, drive in his career, in his college career. So that's encouraging, man. Like, you know, it's like, yes, he had some bad, yes, there's things to work on, but it's like, it's preseason. None of it really matters. We've seen terrible preseason players who have ended up being great in the regular season. Like we've seen that with our own team. You know, like you don't want to take too much from it. And another part of it is because like Shanahan's not even entering in the full arsenal. And again, I don't want to be an excuse. Like it'd be nice if there was a no excuse sort of situation, but it's preseason, bro. Go ahead.
When have you seen a terrible preseason player who's been a great regular player?
Well, I'm just, you know, for example, Cap was always really, really bad in preseason games. Like it was like strikingly bad. And then the first game of the season, it'd be like 400 yards, 420 yards, 4 touchdowns, like off the gate. I'm just saying that there's not like a translation between like, and both of the teams that finished was the 0-16 Lions and the 1-15, the Carolina Panthers. They both were undefeated in preseason. And like, you know, so it's like, I just look at those examples as like, it is preseason. It literally does not matter. This is just about reps and overall, like what the morale of the team is, how we feel about the QB battle coming into to game one. Like all those things matter. But in terms of just like really transcending into like these guys' careers, it doesn't, you know, we'll see. Like it doesn't have to matter, you know? That's all I'm saying. Like Trey, because Shanahan is like he's hamstringing the team. He's putting Trey's hands behind his back. Like, not literally letting him use the full arsenal of his running capabilities, and that's a big part of his game. And it looks like that's going to be a big part of his game to start off. So you know that's what I would say in terms of it being preseason and how it would be different from the regular season. So, and Chargers got a good team. They got a good squad. I'm you know, they have high hopes this year as well. And so, yeah, I feel like coming into week one, it'd be great if we, I think, started Trey Lance. I think that to me, that's clear that we need to start Trey Lance. But what do you think?
Ooh, all right. Forget what I think. Did you hear what Shanahan said?
No, I didn't. I didn't catch any of the post game. Yeah, I was just walking and doing all that.
So basically, so he said 2 things. So they said basically somebody asked him the question like, okay, before training camp started, you declared that Jimmy G was the starter and that it wasn't an open competition. You know, has anything changed? He said, no, nothing has changed yet. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. He said, no, nothing has changed yet. He said, I wish something, I wish it would be different, but nothing has changed yet. And then, okay, so he says that nothing changed. So, okay. Then somebody asked him, so are you ready to declare Jimmy Garoppolo as your week 1 starter? He said, no, he's not ready to do that.
That's big, bro. That's big. Yeah, I mean, okay, this is I want to start this every time I'm on talking about the Niners. I have to like make this point. This whole competition, this whole team, it is 110% about Trey Lance. We traded so many picks. We're invested in him, right? So it's like if he's not going to start, it's because of him, because it would be the best thing for him not to start. Right? It has nothing to do with Jimmy G. Jimmy G is not. I rock with Jimmy G. He helped transition us from, you know, a terrible team to a team that went to the Super Bowl. All those sort of things, right? We got love for Jimmy G. All right, and he's not a bad quarterback. Period. He's not. Like, but he is not a top 10 quarterback. And with that being said, like This is all about Trey Lance. If Trey Lance is not ready and Kyle Shanahan and the team thinks it's best to not start him immediately, then that's what we will do, and we will not start him. If we think it's best for him to get reps, and even if that means with Jimmy G, we would be a better team, which I would argue, and I think a lot of fans, a lot of people out there would argue. But even if you're saying with Jimmy G, we would have a better chance to win games, I still think you would start Trey if you think that that's best for his development and that's best for him. You would still start Trey to start the season. It is all about Trey. It is not about Jimmy, period. He's not going to be on the team next year. And we have to, like, if this was like a corner, like, we weren't sure if we can sign Jason Verrett, after this year, and like we have the young corner we want to like, no, other positions doesn't matter. At quarterback position, like, he's not going to be on, he's not the future of this team. It makes no sense to cater anything towards Jimmy, period. So it's all about Trey. And do we feel like he needs those reps? He should be starting now, or would it be best for him to sit? And it just seems like he needs reps.
He does need reps, and I mean, this is how I look at it. Like, with Shanahan saying what he said, I honestly, I maybe this is how I feel. So I'm projecting what he's saying. I'm projecting how he feels by what he's saying, but how I feel is like I want Trey Lance to start. Shanahan wants Trey Lance to start. Everybody wants Trey Lance to start. We already know
Yeah.
Jimmy G doing Jimmy G stuff. Like, Jimmy G is cool, but Jimmy G throws picks. And Jimmy G is far from perfect. He understands the offense. He's a solid NFL quarterback, but Jimmy G is not the answer. Like, for real, he's gonna limit us. So with that being said, it's like, yes, I want Trey Lance to start. I want you. You hear about all this stuff, but with performances like tonight, it's like he's not ready to start. He's not in terms of. But I hear what you're saying. Like, he needs more reps. But it just in terms of, like, okay, are you ready to start in the NFL? It's sharks out there, and
And yeah, Sharks and we traded up all we traded to get you. I don't want to hear that. Like it's the big boy league. Time to put on your big boy pants. Not every quarterback comes in just balling. Peyton Manning had how many interceptions his rookie year? Like he may struggle. He may be really bad, starting off because he's not ready. I don't care if that's the best thing for him. He needs to go through that fire because at the end of the day, like, it's a long game. It's not about this season. If we're talking about week 1 against Detroit, don't think about week 1 against Detroit. Think about Trey Lance holding up that 6th championship for that 49ers squad. Like, that's what we're talking about, like, long term. Whether that's this year, next year, hopefully in the next, 5 years when he's on his rookie contract. But that's what we're talking about. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I feel like we have to do whatever we think is best for him to speed up that development. If that means that Shanahan thinks he needs to sit, maybe he'll come in after the bye. Maybe he'll come in if and when Jimmy G gets hurt. Like, there's a lot of scenarios with that, right? But maybe it's just best to start him off right now. I look at, like, a lot of people talk about Patrick Mahomes, Alex Smith's situation. He sat, with the Chiefs. Everybody brings that up. I feel like it's really tough to compare against somebody who arguably is going to be one of the best quarterbacks, in the league. Like, we all talk about Patrick Mahomes like that. Why do we always want to compare against the top scenario, the number one guy? Let's use, like, Josh Allen as a comparison, right? He came in, he played, like, from the beginning, from the jump. That's what he did. And it's like he wasn't balling his first year. Even in the second year, he had his struggles. But then in that third year, it was like, man, we're finally getting to the point where this is a guy who's an MVP candidate, that guy that we drafted that we thought it would be. That's what we thought was going to happen, So that's what I'm looking at with a guy like Trey Lance, comparing him to somebody like Josh Allen. You know what I mean? So looking at that scenario, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to just start him from the jump. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, yeah, he definitely needs to be out there. Um, I guess in terms of the critiques of
Mm-hmm.
his game today,
Mm-hmm.
it's two sides. It's two sides. It's these wide receivers that's dropping balls, and then it's him and Garoppolo. The Garoppolo, Kyle Shanahan also stood up for Garoppolo today, saying I think he was mad at Ayuk for missing that Garoppolo pass, saying that he doesn't put that on Garoppolo. So all these wide receivers that's dropping the balls. They're not helping out the scenario. But Trey Lance, I just always think of Chris Sims. I don't know why. Chris Sims is living rent free in my head. But I just think about him and how he um breaks down Trey Lance and talks about how he doesn't have does he have those other type of throws. And I mean, we've been here before. We've been here before. We the quarterback, what did you told me? Tell the people what you said. Who who was Trey Lance reminding you of tonight? And you said not
Oh,
in a good
Cap. I
way.
mean, that's what. Yeah, Cap, and not in a good way. That's what I said. Cap, and not in a good way. Cap had all the athleticism. I think really on that run, that run he had to the sideline. That was just that. Of all things, I know people would talk about the bullet passes. That's what they would say, like, "Oh, Cap, that was Cap." To me, it was that run. Like to the sideline, like that straight. And I hate it's. Let's just be honest. It's always going to be a comparison between Justin Fields from here on out to the wheels. It's always going to be a comparison to Justin Fields. Let's just be honest.
And
That's
Mac
all. Like,
Jones.
and it's
And Mac Jones.
and Mac Jones. And Mac Jones. That's fair. And Mac Jones. But Justin Fields, I'm looking at the escapability and like the not the speed. We all knew Justin Fields was a little bit faster, but I think it's tough to compare to, because one thing that you would think with Trey is he's a little bit bigger, a little bit more physical from his college days. Granted, going against accountants and engineers at North Dakota State, but he was a little bit more physical with his running, which we're not going to be able to see in preseason, obviously, right? We're not even going to get the opportunity to see any of that. But Justin Fields, he's able to wiggle out, do what he does. Like, he has the speed, has the wheels. And Trey Lance, you just see a little bit more of that upright sort of running style. I will say, though, he seems to have better pocket presence than Cap did. Like, I will say that, like, even right now, like at an early, as a prospect and early on in his career, I do feel like he has that. But yeah, we did make that comment back and forth talking about that, just watching the game.
Yeah, bro. Hey,
But I wanted to hit
don't
on.
be all fake positive on this thing, man.
It's not fake positive. Hold on. I'm not being fake positive. Like I said, I just had when it's like when you watch football for the first time live, and especially when you're at the game where you can't really see everything fully. It's just, when you're at the game, it's totally different. And when you're at the game, like, no, I'm just saying, in the moment when you watch football, every time you watch a game twice, right? The first time you watch it, it's all the emotions. It's 100% like the fan. Like, yeah, you watching and you breaking it down, but you really just tapped into the game and what's happening in the emotions of the game. The second time you watch the game, you just have a little bit more of a steady, mindset to really evaluate what's really going on. For example, the Jimmy G pass that you just talked about to Ayuk that was picked off. When I first saw it, it's like he overthrew it. Like, Ayuk should have caught it. Like, it's a bad play on both sides. Jimmy G, bad throw. Ayuk, you still got to catch it. Both sides, lose, bad situation. I'm tired of excuses. Make the play. But then, like, even when you like watch some of the replays, like I've seen Jason Aponte's view of it from he was at the game too, and his view because he tweeted out that one, and it's like you just see that maybe like I don't know if that was an Ayuk situation where he didn't run the route completely right because like he could have maybe gone more up to the field instead of like bringing it back to the middle as much. I don't know. Those are the things when you watch it back, it's like you get a little bit more level headed on. Like, I don't know what the situation. I'm still angry because regardless, like I said, make a play. But before I'm just kind of rambling right here. You might want to pick up some of those comments, maybe if you see some of those comments on the side,
Yeah, somebody
in the
said,
comment section.
"Why don't you like Trey Lance, bro?" Hey, it's not that I want to love Trey Lance. I'm just being honest. I'm a fan, so I'm emotional about this. So I just want Trey Lance to be that guy, to be that guy, to be that dude. And what we have seen in the preseason, you've seen good plays, and we've seen not so good plays. You've seen play, and so that's where I'm just like, when you see the nice, not so good plays, that's it's worrisome to somebody who really wants him to be the savior. I really want him to be the savior,
Yeah,
and then like you said, we always gonna compare, bro, to to Justin Fields,
Fields.
and the way Justin Fields maneuvers in the pocket and runs around. He's not perfect either. He didn't have just a great game. This past game, it wasn't like his one previous, but you're gonna compare him to that, and so there was some points of disappointment with Trey Lance today, and then he had some good plays today, just like the game before. And I really want him to start week one. I want him to play because you see you just imagine what Shanahan could do with a guy with a big arm who's fast, but he's having some struggles. It's and that's what's supposed to happen. I get it, but I want him to be that guy. I want him to be beyond the struggles. Hey, when Michael Jordan came in the league, they said, "Oh, he's the best player on this team." First 3 days of practice, and that was it. Off to the races.
Absolutely, and you can get to some more of those comments, JB. Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about Ayuk and the rest of the team performance. I just was a little down, like looking at the game, and even this week. I know when and Debo did play in this preseason game. I'm not sure why, but he played, and honestly, let me take that back. Probably a reason why Debo did play in this game is because our wide receiver depth is just not ideal. And if you want Trey to succeed, and if you really want to evaluate the competition, even if Debo's going through some, something he's fighting through, if he's like healthy to play, and if it was a game he'd play, play him in preseason because we really need to evaluate these quarterbacks. And I was really pissed that in the draft we didn't pick a wide receiver. That was something that I was upset about. A lot of faithful out there were upset about. And looking at a game like this, I just feel like, man, like look at CeeDee Lamb. He's surrounded by other talent at the wide receiver spot. And yes, we have an elite tight end in George Kittle, so you got to factor that in. But he's surrounded by so much elite wide receiver talent. Chase Claypool. They have so many receivers in Pittsburgh. It's just like I feel like the league is in a spot right now in 2021. Like you got to have a deep receiving core, and it's like looking at our squad. I feel like Ayuk would just flourish if we had another receiver. Like if we got Terrace Marshall, as our second round draft pick, which we had the opportunity to do, or other of these wide receivers like later on in the draft. I just feel like it adds another security blanket for Trey and for Jimmy as well. It adds just so much more to our team. And yeah, we got to see how Aaron Banks plays out. It's only been a few practices. We haven't even really seen him. So but I just feel like it was a mistake not getting a receiver in the draft. And a game like, I don't know, just how things have been going. Again, with concerns of injury for Debo. What's up?
Bro, Sherfield is raw.
He's solid. I like Sherfield.
I think he could. I think he could be.
So you're not worried about the receiver.
I mean, when I was talking to my wife today, I was talking about receiver. I'm like, damn, our receivers kind of light. She like, when do we ever have raw receivers?
Never. To
exactly.
Somebody right here at the gas station was rocking the Crabtree jersey just right now. Anyways, but yeah.
I mean, so I think Sherfield, bro. I seen that play again where he caught that the little long pass.
He could have went out of bounds and he didn't.
He could have went out of bounds. He shook dude, like that.
Mm-hmm.
That was some baller type activity right there. I was like, okay,
yeah,
like this dude he's a gamer. Like
I like that phrase, man. Baller type activity. Activity. For sure.
Man. Hey, you see this comment right here though? It says Kyle is always thinking strategically. This is in regards to him, the conflicting comments he made about the quarterback situation. Kyle's always thinking strategically. He never wants his opponent to know anything. So by saying he's not naming Jimmy, don't you think it's more just not letting the Lions who to prepare for? Possibly, but yeah.
I was texting you during the game, like if we're not showing aspects of Trey's game in terms of the running game and some of the plays that we're going to do, like not everything, but some of the plays, if we're holding back because we want the Lions to be unsure of what we're doing and who we're starting and who like, I get it. That's some stuff Belichick would probably do, but at the end of the day, like it's the Lions, and like not even disrespecting the Lions, but like, who cares? Like, if we want Trey to be successful, do what you need to have him be successful. Like, we're not trying to sugarcoat things for the Lions week 1. Like, this is our quarterback we traded everything for. If we need to do some plays that's going to highlight his capabilities and get him in the flow of the game and not have his confidence at the point where he's just like questioning if he's really that guy because he's a top 3 pick, like, do that.
But maybe I think what he might be saying though is that maybe Garoppolo is the guy, is the starter, and that he's just not naming him the starter because of the Lions. Not.
Yeah, I took that question completely the other way. Yeah, I mean that's a possibility. I don't know. I mean, yes,
because I'm saying like why do you think that he said that? Why do you think that he said like okay? Why do you think he said no? I'm not going to name him the starter.
Honestly, like I said, I didn't see the thing live, so I would want to see it like the context of, I would want to see the
I mean, that's
context
pretty
of
much
it
what he
before I
said.
like,
They asked him, "Is Jimmy Garoppolo going to be the starter?"
yeah.
He said, "No,
But
I'm not
I want to
naming
see,
it."
I want to see how I want to see how he was looking when he said it. Was it like, there's always context when you actually see it. But hearing the quote, I feel like he's just not happy with Jimmy, and maybe he's just trying to put pressure on Jimmy. I will say this though too. Like I think Patrick Mahomes this week, had probably a similar stat line to Jimmy. One pick, like no touchdowns, a few passes completed, a few passes. It's preseason, and when you only have one drive, like it's tough to it's
Right,
tough to really evaluate.
but it's different levels of pressure though.
Oh, for sure. And I know, and yeah, if it's Mahomes, there is no like, I get it, but I'm just making the point that like it's tough to really extrapolate on any of this. And even with coach talk in terms of what coach is saying and all those sort of things, like again, preseason is fool's gold, and it's really just I keep bringing it back to me. I evaluate highlight plays, like do what you just said about Trent Sherfield, baller type activity. That's what I'm looking at in preseason. Like, are there glimpses of it? And as bad as Trey Lance looked at times, he did have some good plays. Like, I don't want to take that away from his game. Like, faithful. Like, first of all, before we get to some of these other comments, JB, faithful. Whether you like it or not, whether you are Team Mac Jones, Team Justin Fields, Team let's draft Kyle Pitts, whatever. We did what we did. Trey Lance is our quarterback. I'm rocking with him. Period. Like, and if you have to be invested in him, it's not about week one against the Detroit Lions. It's about his whole career. Like good, bad, ugly. Like you're gonna have to rock with this. And I get what you're saying about flashbacks, and we've seen things in the past and high expectations. And I even said myself, I don't want excuses, but we were rocking with Trey. Like that's gonna be our guy. So it's not about have the long view on it. That's all I'm saying. Like don't be quick to turn on Trey. Do not do that. It's fine to evaluate him. It's fine to criticize all those sort of things, but don't be quick to just turn on him right now. Just don't be quick to do that. Faithful, please. Please. Preseason game 2. Come on now. What we got in the comments, man?
We said somebody said, "What are your thoughts on Ambry Thomas?" Ambry, I think he was okay. I think obviously 38 is he's ahead of Ambry. He's ahead of Ambry. I like the way 38 is playing.
Are you giving him a number just because he's a rookie, or I mean, Demo, man, Demo.
It's just hard.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I like the way Demo has been out there playing. He been
absolutely
on a lot of stuff. Been
absolutely
contest, huh?
I said absolutely. Like you can't. I mean, the way Demo's been playing, like it's not like he's just like looks like a shutdown corner. But you got to think like we're gonna have Verrett, we're gonna have Mosley. Like you feel good about the depth if he's playing at that level where like he can go in the game and you not be afraid like, oh, we're just gonna get like smoked with him. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be different once you're going against DeAndre Hopkins and guys like that. But still, he looks like again baller type activity. You know what I mean? So that's all you can really ask for. In terms of specifically the question about Ambry, I feel like he maybe it's early, but he looks like maybe he is a year away from really seeing what he can do. And I feel like it relates to Trey too. Guys who opted out or weren't able to play in their last season in college football, how does that affect them? Are they really ready to play? And how do you get them ready? For corner, you're not going to be able to just get into the game. That's not going to happen. But for Trey, at the quarterback position, where he's the future of the team and Jimmy's not going to be here next year, I kind of feel like you got to put him in, because what if we reach a scenario where he sits all of this year, comes in next year, and still has some blemishes that doesn't look fully ready and looks like he needs reps? You're going to go back and say, I wish he would have played last year. And I don't want to be in that situation. To me, that's like the worst case scenario. And there's a clear way to avoid that. He doesn't have to start week 1, but he's got to get in the season. So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. So in preseason,
flashes,
all you want to see from a rookie quarterback is flashes from that QB. Trey has given us that. And he'll continue to improve. You can see he puts it all together. He'll be deadly. Hey, that's great.
100.
That's great. That is
100.
great. Hey man, all I'm gonna say though, like, no, I feel it. I'm just being honest with my emotions during it. And not just my emotions. Not just my emotions, all of 49ers Twitter emotions. Like there was like a stretch during the game where a lot of people were like Grant, Grant Cohen is a big Trey Lance advocate. And he said if at one point he said, what did he say? He said if the Niners are looking to make Trey Lance seem like a gigantic bust, they're succeeding right now. You know,
But
them
that's
type
a
of
more of
words.
a comment. But that's a comment about the Niners and not Trey Lance. I'm sure Grant still feels good about what he sees from Trey.
Oh no,
Grant
no,
would even
no,
say that
not
he's
at
a
that
raw
moment.
prospect.
Not at that moment.
Yeah, but the games aren't decided, and I'm glad you said that. Not at that moment. At this moment in game 2 of preseason, in quarter 2, whatever it is, like after that moment, he led a 1-minute drive, less than
No,
one
no,
minute,
yeah,
to get a
it was
touchdown
great.
to end the half. And you have the ability to redeem yourself. That's exactly what I'm saying about stay through with it. It's fine to be emotional and be like, oh, I'm not happy with what I'm seeing. I wasn't happy with what I was seeing, but you got to be happy with the fact that he came back and looking at the valuation of the whole body of work from the game. Yeah, obviously some things to clean up, but at least he had those flashes, like my man Jamal Armstrong is saying, and I've been saying, that's what you want to see. Flashes, highlights in the game, period. And he had that.
No, he did have flashes. I mean, he's had flashes. Um, you know, big plays.
And his arms are being tied behind his back. You know, it's not like, I mean, he had the play that was drawn up for his first touchdown last week. But other than that, I feel like there hasn't been a lot of just like, you know, I don't know. He's had a few screen passes in the Kansas City game as well, but we didn't see any of those today. There was no easy like gimme. I mean, well, we had one that it was dropped. It could have been like it almost was a fumble. So you know, but there wasn't a lot of gimmies, and guys weren't really helping him out because again, we didn't draft another wide receiver. But you know,
Hey man, all right. So what does he need to get better at?
I don't think it's anything. I feel like it's just reps. It's like everything. It's like he just needs to get more experience. And I think it's also tough to fully evaluate because this isn't what we're going to see from the regular season offense. So it's really tough to say. Like like things will open up a lot more if he has those rhythm plays to get into the game, those rollouts, those runs. I think our run game is going to be super dynamic. Playing with the starters, period. Like I think what does he need to get better? Alex Mack and Trent Williams, and you know, being able to run with the full plethora of running backs, and I mean all that. I feel like I'm not too concerned. I think like there's a lot of pressure because we traded so much. We want him to be the savior of this team, but again, in terms of a long view and looking at the long term, I'm not like super concerned. We have to make sure we see improvements, but I'm not like super concerned. Like we'll have to see how things progress.
Okay, I mean, okay, but so you don't have any specifics where you're like, oh, I want you to get better at this. Like,
Well, I
what about
mean,
the
yeah, I
pace that he's
mean,
throwing on them balls? He doesn't. You don't
yeah, I
think?
mean, you could definitely bring that up. I just feel like there's things that can be, you know, I think it would probably be different if you know, we had a full plethora of weapons at our disposal. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to make excuses for him. He's got to clean that up. Like, that's pretty obvious. I mean, yeah, we can talk about the fastballs. I mean, there's got to be other pitches you have in the arsenal for sure. Like you know, that's pretty obvious. Everybody's going to say that. That's going to be the talking point this week. Fine, but you know, I think it can be improved. I didn't see somebody who was just throwing darts all college when I was watching Trey Lance film from North Dakota State. I saw some touch. I saw some. I saw like even in some of what we've seen already. Like I've seen some, you know, plays out to the running back, like the touchdown that he threw in practice to Jermichael Hasty. Like I've seen like, you know, some touch on the throws and whatnot. And honestly, if he's playing with just a fastball, yes, you got to correct that. But at the same time, the receivers get used to what his ball is and step up. Be a professional NFL receiver. This is ridiculous. This is
That's what
ridiculous. Like,
that's what Shanahan said.
come on, like step up. You're an NFL receiver. Like Richie James. I just being at the game, like you know, you see a little bit more, and like I just feel like his body language is so bad. You know what I mean? Like it's just so bad. It's like, bro, like, do you want to be here? This is this is so serious, man. Like this is like cutthroat. Are you making the team with some of these receivers? And it's just, I don't know. I know Mohamed Sanu had a touchdown. He also had one of those drops. I just feel like having Mohamed Sanu as like, yeah, I mean, if he's your fourth, fifth guy, who cares? It's not a big deal. But if you're really planning like coming in before Trent Sherfield emerged, if you're coming in thinking like, oh, that's our number 3, that's a problem at this point, at this stage in his career. That's a problem. That's a problem. It is.
Trent Sherfield is proven to be our number 3.
Okay. All right. I still wish we had more depth at the wide receiver position. But maybe that's just me. I just feel I wish we had more depth there. But anyways, yeah, Trent Sherfield. We'll see how it is in regular season. I'm liking everything I'm seeing from him. He's like you said, baller type tendencies. So we'll see what's going on in the regular season.
Jason Aponte, what it do, man?
Was popping. I should have tapped in with him, man. I should have tapped in. I saw from where he was posting the picture. He was all the way across the other side of the stadium. And honestly, like I didn't really fully explore every single aspect of the stadium. I'm gonna wait to the regular season until we play the Rams. When I go with my lady, hopefully you come out for that game as well. I know it's gonna be a few faithful out there. I want to get there early, stay there late. That's gonna be much more of a enjoy the environment type of vibe. But shout out to Jason. I know he was out here in LA from NY from the East Coast.
Yeah, man. What else? What else was you thinking? I like the way the D line played. They was getting after it. Like, I feel like the defense pretty much was solid. There wasn't too much.
Yeah, I mean, I Easton Stick played well. I mean, you gotta give him credit. I feel like Easton Stick played well. Like you do have to give him credit. I know he's like most people don't know who he is. Obviously, our fans should know who he is because of North Dakota State connection. But he's. I feel like he's a solid backup in this league, and we don't have all the starters and stuff, so he's gonna make plays. But the touchdown throw, because that's exact like that touchdown throw was like right where I was sitting, like that's like right where I was. Right. And so like that touchdown throw where he kind of like Joe Montana does basically to Dwight Clark, except it wasn't the goal line, it was kind of more back, but he basically Joe Montana does. I just I don't know. I don't want to make too much out of that. It's one play and he made a play, but
Bro,
yeah, you
that
think
was that was a
I should
lucky
just stop?
play, bro. That was a lucky.
You think it was
That was
lucky?
a lucky
Okay.
play.
I just feel like we could have
Like
played
he
that a
ran
lot
all the
better.
way to the sideline.
I know, but like first of all, the guys who are up there, like you can't get to them, and second of all, I don't know who was covering the player who caught the touchdown, but it's like, bro, just stay on him. But like, I don't understand. I know it's hard to stay on him in the scrambles, but like, it wasn't like he just left him and went to the quarterback when there's already two guys going to the quarterback. It's like, what do you be
Bro,
disciplined?
I feel it,
Like,
but that
I
was
don't know.
that
That's
was
just
to
me.
me like I feel like the defense played solid today. They played solid. Like that was the only touchdown they had, and it was on a short field because that was right after
Yeah,
Trey
I
to the pick.
was really pissed. I was really pissed when Maven had that pick six and they called it back on the holding or whatever they called because I had a few
Yeah.
dollars on the Niners getting the over 20 and they had it and they took it off the board. I was hot. We didn't get to it, so I lost some money off of that one pick. But yeah, he's making plays. He looked pretty fast out there. That was just awesome. That was an awesome and shout out to all the faithful again who were at the game. Like it was a home game, like so that was just dope to see. Like, we had some plays being made. I always like to see turnovers in preseason from our defense, so that's a good thing.
Something that I'm interested in seeing is who is gonna start next to Jimmy Ward. That today, Haha played. He was in there, and Haha played cool. He was making tackles. But I don't know. You've heard all these things about Tavon Wilson being the guy. Was he injured today? Why
Early
didn't
on,
Tavon Wilson play?
I think he has a like a groin, like some sort of leg injury, I believe, and so we can double check on that. But yeah, I think he had some injury, and that's I think why they brought in Haha, honestly, because he was dealing with some injuries. I'm curious about Jefferson. I haven't seen anything from Jefferson. He's been hurt as well, right?
Yeah, he's been hurt. So, Haha, and then Hufanga. I don't think that he's gonna start 29. You know, but
Yeah.
Haha. I don't know. He was out there. He looked like a vet who still he was making tackles, open field tackles. He was out there. I don't know how much of the defense he knows, and how good he fits into this scheme. But with this team.
Yeah,
But Haha was looking cool.
the defense is tough to evaluate. No Nick Bosa, no Verrett, no, like there's so many players, no Warner, so many players that you're not, being able to see key players for us. So I'm pretty comfortable with the defense. I think, especially with the slate of games we have, Detroit and then Philadelphia, that should, give us the opportunity to kind of like, and you always want to respect your opponent, but just from even seeing their preseason games, God, man, like those teams don't look good, So, and I've watched both of those games for Detroit and for Philly. They don't look good. So, we should be able to smack them, hopefully. But those expectations gets tricky. So, what else you
Yeah,
got in the
man.
comments, man?
Somebody
I know we
said,
got a lot.
let's see. Somebody said Chargers were running on us a bit early, average 4 yards per carry on us. Our safeties had to come up to shut it down early. Funga playing on another level, but I think it's Wilson. Um, yeah, that's what you was talking about. Easton Stick, he was kind of moving out there. What's up with Armstead?
Oh, Armstead was just he just was looking. He just looks average. I don't know. He just looks very average. You know what I mean? Like I don't really know what else to
Yeah,
say.
Armstead, he needs those impact players around him. I feel like if Armstead has
Yes,
those
yes,
impact guys
yes.
around him, then
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna do damage.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be
Yeah,
he's gonna play
and
at
a
a
and a
at
play.
a at a at a Pro Bowl level. Like
Yeah,
he's
and a
gonna be
player
like,
like
oh, should he make the Pro Bowl? Yeah, he's out.
yeah,
He's in the backfield. He's strong. But if he if he's not surrounded by those guys, I don't know.
yeah, a player like Armstead is tough because honestly, Armstead is very similar to Jimmy G. It's about their contract. Like if they weren't paid what they were paid, then you would look at them differently as more appropriately of what they are, is like pretty, average for the position, like pretty, like good guys. I mean, and if they have everything around them, then they can flourish. But if they don't, then and even if they do, they're still not. You be careful with having expectations with those two. So they're actually pretty similar. I never thought about that. But we did see a belly roll today. We did see a belly roll by Armstead, so that was nice. We got to see that early in the
Yeah,
game.
he kind of hustled. Like he kind of got lost and then kind of hustled, made a little sack. Hey,
What?
you
Yeah.
gonna
What?
let
I
this
mean,
comment?
yeah.
You gonna let this comment? Team does not have a number one wide receiver. Samuel ain't it, and neither is.
We don't have
Hey,
a number one wide
eh,
receiver.
yeah,
Neither is
we ain't.
Ayuk. Yeah.
When have we had a number one wide receiver? Never
I
since
feel it, but
To.
it would. It's crazy. But I just think, yeah, I agree with that comment. It is true, and not only that, but Samuels is always hurt. He's always going to have issues staying healthy, similar to Kittle, Kittle's really our number one receiver, and similar to Kittle, he's always going to be hurt until proven otherwise. I just feel like those are guys, and it's not, it's just the way they play, the way our team is, the way we play. That's what's going to happen, and it'd be good to have another wide receiver in the bullpen. It's not, a lot of people make the comment, oh, well, we run a lot of double tight end sets. We run a lot of, we have fullback, all this sort of stuff. We don't need a wide receiver 3. It's not just about a wide receiver 3. It's about another wide receiver 2, because we know that somebody's going to go out and we have to keep this thing going. Like, I just feel like this day and age in the NFL, you got to be deep at wide receiver. And, we have a lot of guys at the bottom of the depth chart who really, I don't have a lot of confidence in. That's just
Hey
me.
man, hey, you said something. You brought up Kittle, and I remember earlier today. You know, I'm really wondering like where is that Kittle who broke the tight end receiving record?
He didn't even. What you mean? He didn't even play. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Can I
What do
explain?
you mean?
Can I
Okay,
explain?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Like in camp, you don't really hear
Floor is
about
yours.
Kittle doing too much in camp. Like you don't hear him going off with receptions. Last year he didn't really go off with receptions. He was injured and stuff. All I'm saying is this. This is all I'm saying. Kittle is, people we put Kittle as Niner fans. We put Kittle on a pedestal. Like he's up there with Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, like top player on the team. And all I'm saying
Yeah,
is, okay, well, and he gets the everybody talks about we love his attitude, we love his his cheerful attitude, his his team first attitude, run blocking, but all I'm saying is I'm just speaking into the future, and he didn't play today, he did not play today, but at the same time,
he's
I don't
somebody you got
want
your eye on. I
want
got
more
you.
than a blocking tight end. I want. Are you? Can you be? Because you're talking about we don't have receivers. Well, we're supposed to have Kittle, who's supposed to be like a receiver, who's supposed to be like I said. He set the record for a tight end record a few years ago.
For yards. Yep.
Yards, right?
That's Kelsey
So
broke.
it's like
But yeah.
okay, so that means that you're supposed to be like this impact player catching the ball. I don't want to. I'm kind of tired of this blocking. Like that's cool. I like it. I'm not saying, but I am kind of tired of that. It's like Deion Sanders said with corners. Like okay, yeah, you tackling is great, but I'm here to make plays. I'm here to get interceptions.
That's true, but there's different types of tight ends though. Like like I get the comparison you're making, but that is a little bit of apples to oranges because tight end like there's receiving tight ends who just receive, and then there's those hybrid tight ends and the blocking tight ends. So I do take that with a grain of salt, but there's nothing to really get too worked up about right now, bro. Like I mean, he's not even playing. Like he is a top player. Like I think like the injuries concern, like I just brought up, is like valid, and that's why I don't think he can. That's one of the main reasons why I don't think he can be considered the top tight end, because you got to stay healthy to do that and be reliable to do that. But you know, I think like he's another player that I feel like will really help out Trey. You know, Trey ran that pro style offense at North Dakota State. They gave a lot of balls to the fullbacks, to the tight ends, those sort of things. So I'm hoping that they can get a good rapport early, and Trey should hopefully take Kittle's career to the next level. But he's not going to ever be a guy who's like Waller, like Kelsey, because we're not going to just have that many targets for a run first team. Our targets are limited for our wide receivers, for our tight ends. But in terms of like having that alpha in the room that can be that number one, you need a play that can get it. Yes, you're right. That's supposed to be Kittle, and we need to start talking about him that way. He makes the wide receiver position a little bit more, you know, moot. It's a moot point if Kittle can do what he's supposed to do. So that's a fair point.
Right. If he's healthy, Kittle will show up as number one tight end. It's NFL season, no doubt. It's all about his health. He practiced this week, got two TDs on Duran, and with
Yep.
the better route, would have had 3.
Yep.
Hey, I want Kittle to be great. I'm just like I said, we put him on this pedestal. You know, I just want him
Hey,
to live up to that.
hey, shout out to, did Asante Samuel Jr. have both of the interceptions, or am I tripping? He only had one of them.
Yeah, I think he only had one.
Okay, well, he had the interception. He had the interception in practice. A lot. He was taking, I think, a pick before we got Aaron Banks, or maybe 2 picks. A lot of us faithful wanted him. Man, that dude is a baller. Just gotta give him his props. I just had to shout out. The LA Chargers. They have a lot of you know, good players on defense. They have a lot of like stalwarts on that side. So watch out for that dude. What else we got?
Man. Let's see. You got to be deep at wide receiver. Look at Kyle's offense, the Falcons, Sanu, Julio. We got Sanu, right?
Like a few years too late. That's what I'm saying. I mean, this ain't the Bengals. Like he was raw on the Bengals. Like let alone the Falcons and the Lions and Patriots, bro. You know, hey, Sanu's one of those players. I'm not hating on him. How could you hate on Sanu? It's just like I'm hating on the situation. Whenever I watch like the NBA playoffs, there'd always be like, you know, a team that would play somebody that was just like like a Ricky Rubio. You know, Ricky Rubio is just one of those players where I'm like, hey, he's solid, but like if he's getting honest minutes on your team, you're not winning a championship. Like you're not winning a championship. That's the same thing I feel about Sanu. I'm not hating on him, but it's like if he's really like our wide receiver 3, 4, like that's not good. That's not good. Like it's 2021. This isn't 2012. So,
hey, Sherfield could be our poor man's Tyler Lockett. I don't know about Tyler Lockett
they're different
specifically, but
players to me.
huh? Yeah,
They're different
hey,
players
but
to
at the
me.
end of the day, yeah, I don't think Sherfield is
Can,
just.
can,
Is
can I say one thing about that? We have to have Wes Welker on like as a part of your staff, and like I know we had Trent Taylor in the past, and this isn't a race thing, but like you know those short, stocky route choice. Typically, they're usually like those white guys that you see on the Patriots, whether they're Julian Edelman or Amendola or you know even Wes Welker himself, like those type of players. I always thought that we were like really gonna look to get a player like that to go into this offense. Specifically, we had Trent Taylor, who was supposed to fill that spot, and like I think you could. I always thought like couldn't Richie James play a role like that, or but he never really developed into that sort of role. I'm not sure if like it's just interesting to me that we have Wes Welker on our coaching staff as a receiver coach, and we don't have a receiver that fits that archetype. That's just interesting to me. I know we're a physical running team, and you want guys that can block and yada yada yada, but I would just think that we would get one of those like specifically slot receivers that like they're maybe not the fastest, but they're super quick. We drafted that. We had that undrafted rookie out of. We had the undrafted rookie out of Notre Dame last year, who I think made the comments. I think we cut him after he made some comments about with maybe Trace Claypool about like I remember there was something that he said about how we practice versus how the Steelers practice or something like that. But I remember we had him for a minute, and yeah, we never got that guy.
Yeah, I mean, we had what's his name? Trent Taylor.
Yeah, I know, but he didn't work out, is what I'm saying. Like he was supposed to fit that mold, I think, but now we don't have somebody in that mold unless you want to say Richie James, which I'm not. I don't really know if he doesn't really fit that role.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know what specific position Sherfield could play, but I'm very excited about him. I don't understand why you're not excited about him. Like all I see from this dude is balling in camp. All I've seen is plays where he's making good dope catches in camp. The 80-yard bomb that everybody talk about Trey Lance, that was on him today. Baller activities today. It's like, damn, like this dude, he's a guy. We can't like he's a guy. Like, I mean, yeah, it's the preseason, and what's gonna happen in the regular season. Yeah, of course you can't really know, but for me, To me, Sherfield, I'm like, we got Debo if healthy, Ayuk, and we got Sherfield. Like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Of course, we want to have more, but I just feel like those three guys right there are good enough.
Okay. All right.
They're good enough. For me, Sherfield, Sherfield not that dude.
I mean, we got to see it, man. I like everything I've seen. It's like he can't do anything more to really like have me more juice. I'm super excited about him. Like, I'm hoping that I mentioned this last week, but like Victor Cruz, I always look at Victor Cruz. Like Victor Cruz was nobody. He balled out in the preseason, and then he became somebody. Period. Like if you get your opportunity, you take advantage of it. Anything can happen. This isn't really. I don't think he's gonna get those type of opportunities, but he'll get his opportunities because he's played so well and balled out. He's an absolute 1,000% lock to make this team. Period. And I think he's going to be somebody who's going to contribute to this team. That's what we're hoping to see from him. So we'll see what he could be.
Yeah, man. So Sherfield, man.
Let's brace through some of these comments, man, to wrap up, man, because I do want to get back, man. I'm here at this gas station outside of the stadium, SoFi, the beautiful SoFi Stadium, man. Can't wait to the Rams.
I mean, honestly, all the way to the end of the season. Shout out to everybody who out here rocking with us. Shout out to all y'all in here, man. It's just a lot of we just commenting on the stuff that we've been talking about. So
okay.
But yeah, man. Hey, overall, it was like I said, it was a fun preseason game. Even the low moments, it was fun. It was like, oh, okay, this is what it's about. This is preparing yourself for them games when it ain't gonna be perfect, when it might be ugly. This kind of prepared me for that. I don't know. And we had good moments too. Honestly, right now, I ain't thinking about no Super Bowl. I ain't thinking about no deep playoff run. All that, we got a deep team and all that. We got the most talented team. We have to play like it. We have to play like that. We have to prove it. We have to prove ourselves. And that's how I look at it.
This week, I didn't mean to cut you off, fam, but this week did bring me down to earth a little bit. I always talk about how, like, the beginning of the season, everybody thinks they're a Super Bowl team. There's so much optimism. All the reports from camp, there's just so much to be happy and juiced about. But I feel like this week I did get brought down a little bit just with the little report of Debo having a little bit, just walking off the field, taking himself out of practice. I know he played in the game today again, but it just what you said earlier in this episode, it just brought back, especially like trauma with Debo. It's like, you're always hurt, bro. You're always going to be hurt. That's just what goes through my head when it's like he's limping out. Like, why? Can't you just not have that happen? Can't you just get through? Can we just have you get to the finish line? It's a marathon. This is a marathon, bro. And it's like, I know it sounds like I'm being super critical and harsh and everything, but it's like other teams, other receivers don't always go through this. There's certain positions where you don't have a lot of injuries for a reason. Those guys, the receivers and corners, like, they're usually, we need reliability there. You know what I'm saying? And it's just frustrating to always have them hurt. And it puts my expectations down because it's like, if guys can't stay healthy, if we're still having some of the same issues, Jimmy's out here throwing pick sixes in practice, let's be honest about where this team is right now. We are a good team. I think we should be a 10-win plus team. We should win 10 games. That's my expectation, 10 wins. Beyond that, like you just said, Super Bowl. But I'm not thinking about that. People keep talking about our roster, against our Super Bowl year and how we're deeper now. I think John Lynch said that, and how we're X, Y, Z. Stop talking about it. This is a new season. This is a whole new journey. And if that means that, like, again, if you're saying that, oh, we're a Super Bowl team, and because of that, Jimmy gives us the best chance, a little bit better chance than Trey, so we're going to play Jimmy because we have a Super Bowl team now. Do not do that. Play Trey if you think that it's best for him to play. That's what I've kind of emphasized the whole time. Like, if you think that Trey Lance needs to play, he needs to get those reps, he needs to be in the games, actually playing with the ones going against NFL defenses. May not be perfect, but hey, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the case for Josh Allen when he started his career. That it wasn't perfect for him. If we feel like we need to have him go through the growing pains, then have him go through the growing pains. Don't pay any mind to Jimmy G. Jimmy G's purpose to this team right now is only in relation to Trey Lance. If it's better for Trey Lance to be on the bench, if that's the evaluation, if that's what you think, then play Jimmy. We got Jimmy. He's a solid quarterback. Play him. But otherwise, I want to see Trey, and I'm not going to have Super Bowl expectations. I'm not going to have Super Bowl expectations. I'm in it for the long haul, and I want to see this guy succeed. I want to see us succeed for the long haul. Be faithful. Stay in there.
Hey, one last thing, bro, about this whole quarterback thing. Jimmy G, honestly, if I was Jimmy G right now, and I would be pissed off because I was Jimmy G, not.
If you were Jimmy G and you were paid $25 million, $27 million this year to play football and not even play, you're gonna be pissed off.
You know why?
We paid him. We paid him the money before he got hurt. He missed a whole season.
Can I talk?
He's just out here for the fat check. I'm sorry. You get paid to do what you do. Go ahead, man. Finish.
Can I talk?
Can I talk? Pissed off. Where's this entitlement? Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, because look, the reason why is because honestly, man, look the way the situation is playing out, they really want Trey to start. Like, that's how I feel like.
Absolutely. They traded all these picks for him. What do you think? You knew what it was.
I know. And I want Trey to start. But I'm just saying from Jimmy G's perspective.
And they also wanted Jimmy G to start in New England. They also wanted Jimmy G to start in New England and take over. But no, he didn't win that because Tom won it. So you've been on the other side of that. You know exactly how that is. So you have no rights to feel a certain way about, I feel offended and whatnot. You were drafted to replace Tom Brady.
Nah, but bro,
if anybody knows how that feels, you should know how it feels.
I'm just saying,
you are not Tom Brady in this scenario.
Bro, but look, even with this game right here, right? Even with this game right here, and maybe he didn't want to play, but I don't know. Even with this game right here, it was like, you were supposed to.
He didn't get the opportunity?
Yeah.
F that, man. F that.
I'm talking about from listen, bro. You talking about it from your perspective, and the Niners franchise perspective. I'm talking about it from Jimmy G's perspective.
No, I'm talking about from Jimmy G's perspective. You've had ample opportunities. Period. You know you've had injury history. You've barely played in the NFL. You know what the situation is. And given your archetype of coming in to replace Tom Brady and then having that not be the case because Tom Brady clearly beat you out and proved that he was still the guy, you should know how this is. You should know how this business goes. And on top of all that, we made you the highest paid player in NFL history when you didn't prove that you deserve to be that. So you have no right to ever. And then the next year, you missed the whole season, and we're just paying you. You owe us. So for you to feel any sort of type of way about, they traded all these picks for Trey Lance, bro, take your check and do be ready to play. And if you're gonna be on the bench, then be on the bench and be a good soldier. Because if anybody should know how this thing goes, you should. Period. I don't want to hear that about Jimmy G. He should be the most furthest from being the entitled player because of what he's had. Period, man. Do you know how many guys in the NFL would you rather have Teddy Bridgewater over Jimmy G? Would you rather have? There's plenty of guys who aren't making jack that are comfortable to him.
I mean, yeah, you talking about the money and stuff. I'm just being.
That's really important.
This is all I'm saying, bro. This is all I'm saying. Like as a competitor, if you competing, like I get all you saying, but at the end of the day, like as a competitor, you're seeing like regardless of like me being injured or whatever, you're just seeing it right in front of your eyes. Like you're seeing like, okay, They really not. They really don't want me to play. And and you're thinking about when we made this trade, right? And John Lynch always bring it up. He always brings it up.
Jimmy G was a good.
No. He always talks about. He always says, Jimmy's first word. Are you guys gonna let me compete? Yeah, you're gonna be able to compete. And like the playing field on competition or who the coaches want, I just feel like the writing's on the wall. You could tell that they want I feel like they want Trey Lance to start, which is what I want as a fan. I'm just saying from Jimmy G, I don't know if I was Jimmy
Can I
G,
say one more
I'd
thing?
be pissed off.
If you're okay, so let's take this scenario out even further. I know the folks in the chat saying I'm not letting you talk. My bad, bro. I apologize, man. I'm getting hot right
Hey,
now
I've
because
been on
that
the other
starts to kill
side
me.
of that. I've been on the other side of that a
Okay,
lot.
yeah,
So.
yeah. My bad. You know, respect, and you have a valid point. What I would say, like, to take that scenario a step further, right? If you're Jimmy G, what do you want to do? I'm asking you, like, what do you want to do? Do you want to get a trade? Because you know nobody's going to trade for you unless you restructure your contract. Do you want to give up some of that? Because it's going to come back down to money. Because, like, do you want to, like, let's say, like, restructure your situation to like a 2-year guaranteed, like, I don't know, $30 million contract or something like that? That's more tradable than what you have right now. Is that what you want to do? Like, because and then we can maybe see if we can get you to the Texans or another. We can play with that, but that's not going to happen. That what your contract is right now. Do you want to get cut? Is that what you want to do? Go on the free agent market and maybe get like an $8 million contract and really take a hit to your ego? Is that what you want to do? And to your pocketbook as well. My bad. Not be able to get all the benefits and and all the investments you'd be missing out on for this year. Like, is that what you want to do? What do you think?
Hey,
I'm not even
hey,
asking. I'm
the
seriously asking. What would you want to do?
I mean, all I know is this: the Niners don't want to cut him though. The Niners, you don't want to cut Jimmy G right now. You don't want to. I don't think you would just want to cut Jimmy G and just
If you
like
if you have
Jimmy G
something to
is
do
Trey
with it,
Lance's safety net. He's a safety net right now, and you don't want to just cut Jimmy G and have Trey Lance to the Wolves. I know you say you kind of do, but they really don't. They really don't.
I, it's not that. I mean, I hear what you're saying on that, but at the same time, it's like if he's got to go to the Wolves, like if that's the best thing, like then maybe he needs to go to the Wolves, and that would be an opportunity for him to get reps. The team maybe not do as well as we could if we had a experienced NFL quarterback like Jimmy G. But it's not about that. It's about longer, bigger picture goals. And if that's the best way, like let's not look at this as like Trey Lance needs to come out and be Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert was great, and like we don't. And Justin Herbert, they didn't even make it's an apples to oranges situation because that wasn't even a competitive team enough. I mean, they had players though, but it wasn't a competitive team enough to even make the playoffs. But my point is, like, if he needs to be put out to the Wolves, speaking of Trey Lance, then do that because the long-term effects. If you think that like it's Josh Allen, I keep bringing up Josh Allen. If you got to struggle to get to that finish line of success, it's a marathon. We're not worried about. I'm here in LA, almost on Slauson right now. It's a marathon, man. The marathon continues. We gotta get to the finish line. Like it's not about right now, week 1 in Detroit, and him struggling. Who cares? Like build him up. So that's just my take on the whole Jimmy G thing. Like it's really related to money, heavily. And yeah, I don't think the Niners want to cut him, but if they can do something else with that money, then great. I mean, they already missed out on Evan Ingram. They're not Evan Ingram, the Ingram from the Chargers. What's his name? The other Ingram from the Chargers, the defensive end. They missed out on him. They missed out on guys like Clowney, whoever they wanted to potentially get in free agency that they could have got with the money saving from Jimmy. They didn't do that. So I'm not sure how it would specifically help them now. But I mean, I'm not going to give it a 0% chance that we want to cut him. Like there might be some things that we want to do, like instantly cut Jimmy and then we have money to extend Red or whatever we want to do. But there might be some things financially that the team wants to do. And there's plenty of backup quarterbacks out there from Nick Foles to, I mean, there's a plethora of them. Teddy Bridgewater. There's plenty of backup quarterbacks that you probably could get. I know we don't have a lot of draft capital, but there's guys out there. Like
I said Teddy
there's guys.
Bridgewater.
Yeah, I did.
Like, bro,
What's
Teddy
wrong with that?
Bridgewater is in the middle of about to start for Denver.
He might, but Drew. I mean, they've got Drew Lock, and my point is, there's a lot of guys who are potentially available. That I think we And I honestly feel like we should get Easton Stick. We need to get somebody who's more mobile as an archetype to still run the same offense. I've been saying
Right,
that, but
but
that's a
look,
moot point.
we like the season's about to start, so all these
I feel it.
these players
Shit,
we ain't gonna be able to get that. Like
shit.
I don't feel,
We traded for
like I
Jimmy
feel
G,
like
and he came in.
they got
Jimmy G
Jimmy.
came in midseason. Jimmy G came in midseason. It's not like it's
Right.
like impossible. So like it's Jimmy. That's what he did. So
Right.
it's possible.
But hey, all I'm saying is, for me, I need Trey Lance. I want to see him improve. And would you say he improved?
Melvin.
Would you say he improved this week from last week?
Who? Jimmy?
No, Trey.
Or Trey?
Trey.
Good question. I have to think about it. I feel like in terms of improve, it's like you'd have to get better at something that you struggled at, last week. So last week, we did, there was a lot of we didn't see I think there was one pass that got deflected that potentially, I guess, could have got picked. You remember that? I feel like there was one pass that was the case this week or today. Wasn't there like one pass that he got in there that I don't know if it could have been picked, but it was like deflected. I guess I was just bringing up last week, there was the 2 passes, maybe even 3 that could have been picked that he didn't see guys. Like I didn't see those situations happening. His pick came from overthrowing, which is an issue. He had the hard ball situation, which is an issue. But I feel like the first touchdown pass, and even the second one, he manipulated the pocket a little bit, manipulated his eyes, knew where to go, got the ball there. It wasn't like there was somebody who just came up out of nowhere. So I would say that is an improvement in that regard.
All right, well,
you gotta give props to
that. People in these comments talking about he improved. So all right, Trey improved a little bit. I definitely, like I said, you brought up Herbert. That's what. Hey, that's the expectations of this young guy. Is to him to be the savior. And that's the expectation. So he proved a little bit. I want to see him improve more. Raiders week
again. I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but I keep looking at Josh Allen. Why? Because his team is competitive. He almost won the MVP in year 3, and he was a top draft pick, and people saw the potential. They saw the rawness too, and he struggled. He wasn't Justin Herbert when he came out. He wasn't. So I don't think Justin Herbert, I get the point you're making, but I don't think that's, and yes, expectations, what we want, but no, we want long-term success. We've invested in this guy. It's not about this year. It's not. I think 49ers fans, that's one thing I'd like from this game. Do not think it's fine to have hopes, but don't expect that Trey Lance is going to win Rookie of the Year this year. Change your expectations. Change them.
Hey, but it's more than that, though, because he's coming out. We're going to compare him with these other rookie quarterbacks too.
That's fine. And you can compare him year 1. That's fine. But it's a long game is all I'm saying. It's not just about this year. It's fair to compare them to Zach. Well, not Zach Wilson because he was already picked. But it's fair to compare him to Justin Fields, to Mac Jones, to even Kellen Mond. That's fine. But it's not just about this year, though. That's a part of it. It's not just about this year. It's about the long. Who's going to get the first Super Bowl ring? Who's going to get the first Super Bowl ring? That's really, at the end of the day, what the real comparison is. And that's more indication of the team. And that's fine because the team and the organization has a lot riding on this. It's who's going to get the Super Bowl ring. That's what it's about. That's what it's about, period.
Facts. Well, you feel me? I'm about to lay it down. But somebody in the comments said, y'all have a YouTube channel. Hell yeah. 49X365 on YouTube. Search us up. We got some stuff on there. But we
after this video's up on Croc Talk TV, again, shout out to Croc. We got a lot of things planned, a lot of things coming. He's given us the ability to do some of these post-game shows. I know he was just on with Peacock. Make sure y'all tap into that. Tune into him. Like and subscribe to this video. Subscribe to this channel. But also, I'll make sure that after we sign out, I'll sign into our 49365 YouTube, leave a comment, and possibly pin that on this video. So y'all can, follow it after the fact. But we appreciate all the support, all the faithful. Again, it was amazing seeing all the faithful out here in LA. It's truly regardless of how the game went, it was a great time. Honestly, it's a beautiful stadium. And it's just beautiful to be. The season's here, man. We finally it's just such a fun thing to do. Not even talking about football and breaking down the game and analyzing. It is so fun to, especially in regards to the pandemic and last year not having fans and stuff. it's just so fun to go to a game, to like have something that, you know, this guy may have this political view, this guy may believe in this guy, we're all from these different backgrounds, but we love this team. This is what we united by. This is like what we live and breathe. And just, you got the kids there, you got the couples there, you got like, it's just a family affair, it's a fun affair, everybody's having a good time. I love it, man. The season is right around the corner, and we'll see what this guy Trey Lance, when he gets in the game, what he's going to do for the season. It's just, there's so much, regardless of how it goes, regardless of what your expectations are, this is going to be a fun season, man. It is. It's going to be a fun season. And make sure you tap in with us during the whole ride, man. Croc Talk TV, 49365 podcast. My name is B. Amechi. It's positive energy and good vibes. And as always, I'm with JB.
Hey, we out and faithful. Stand up, baby.
Let's get it.